Hi everybody, it's Yasmin Boland here. Welcome to the daily moon power message. Just come off only 10 minutes of chanting today because we had a security breach. We had a loony, well, I don't want to say the loony, we had someone who decided he wanted to get on and I don't know what he did. I didn't see it, thankfully. But he disrupted the meeting. We had to log off and log on again. So we've only done 10 minutes of chanting. And I know I was a bit thrown, even though I didn't see. Apparently he put up some rude images that I missed. But for anyone who was there, at the end of the meeting, I said, join me here. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a chakra clearing chant, which I think once I stop doing the Kali mantra, this is sage, by the way. Once we finish doing the Kali mantra, which we're doing for COVID-19 and who knows what else, because everything happens for a reason, I'm actually going to start doing daily chakra clearing chants for people, which I do on Zoom, for better or worse. That's how we got this security breach today, but hopefully, you know, I'm sure it was random. Sorry you missed the disruption. I can imagine you are, Cindy. It's always sort of curious to know what happens in these things. It was just some lunatic putting up like silly pictures, and like one was a Nazi picture, one was a drawing of penises. So, you know, he was probably about 13, I'm guessing. Well, he didn't sound 13. I probably shouldn't keep talking about him. I kind of don't want to give him the oxygen of talking about him. But anyway, so what we're going to do, this is sage, which is going to, I was saging everyone in the meeting afterwards, and I'm also saging myself. Sage obviously is a very good clearing energy. And we are going to do a chakra clearing chant, which I actually don't have written down, unfortunately. So you're just going to have to listen. Thanks everyone for hopping on and saying hello. Morning again. Like, who said that? Morning Anna. Sally, it was a sad lad. Yes. I mean, I hope he's okay. You know, like, it's got to be... I just can't imagine doing things like that. I don't know. Who knows? Who understands these things? Anyway, we sent him healing energy, so hopefully he's he had healing energy from about 20 or 30 people all of a sudden. So hopefully he's like feeling blissed out and decided to dedicate his life to something more meaningful. I'm very wary of being too condescending here. I don't mean to sound condescending. It's just I don't really know how else to handle it, to be honest. All right. So hello on Instagram. Hello on Facebook. Hello if you're listening later with SoundCloud. And we are going to start off with a chakra clearing chant today. Then I'm going to talk about rising signs, because I know it's something that everyone's interested in, and it's the last time I'm going to be doing this particular rising sign workshop I've been doing. So I'll let you know about that. It's for people who are Cancerian rising. And then we'll do a card, because we always do a card. So let's kick off with, I'm going to do the chakra clearing chant 3 times, okay? So hopefully, if you've got earbuds or Suzanne on Instagram saying supposedly there are settings you can use to avoid that. Yeah, we actually have a password, but I think that somehow it wasn't working. But so we're just going to make the password work for tomorrow and moving forwards. I'm pretty sure it's random as well. People just go onto Zoom and go, oh, who can I show my private parts to? Oh, let's just choose them. And I think they just hop on to, you know, I do think it's random. Anyway, the chakra clearing chant, I'm going to do it 3 times. If you've got headphones on or earbuds, so much the better for the full immersive experience. But otherwise, just listen up. So, and I'll just explain, because I haven't explained this in the past. The chakra clearing chant, I told you where I got it from a couple of days ago, in India it was. But I didn't mention it's the Bij mantra sounds for the 7 chakras. Okay, and so it's actually worth doing every day. And I was speaking to Kulreet Chowdhury, who wrote Sound Medicine, the book I read recently, which was amazing. Oh, sorry, Hope. I know a girl called Suzanne Hope, actually. And she was saying that she chants this every morning for 10 minutes. So I'm going to work that out, because I was told you shouldn't chant it more than 10 times a day, but actually maybe it was you shouldn't do it for more than 10 minutes a day. I'll work that out from the people that know, and I'll get back to you. But basically, so it's Hari Om, which basically kicks things off. Nam Lam, Mam Vam, Sim Ram, Vam Yam, Yam Hum, Shiva Om, Swaha. It's the sound of the chakras. Oh, and Mercedes is saying she's bought it. Yes, you can actually buy this chant on iTunes. And it's, I don't think it costs very much. And it's actually Kurit who wrote this book. I'll show it to you one more time. If you haven't seen if you're interested in mantra, have a look on my Facebook page or my YouTube channel, if you can find it, because it doesn't have a proper name yet. I haven't fixed it up. But there's an interview I did with Kulreet about the Kali mantra that we're doing and mantra in general. So if you're interested in mantra, it's a really good one to do. And also, if you want to buy her chant, it's on iTunes. So you just put in her name, Kulreet Chowdhury, and she recorded it with her husband, and it's lovely. I've got it. I listened to it. Alrighty. Let's clear our chakras, babies. What is the chant called? Hope. I just think you need to look under her name. If you even just type Kulreet, Kulreet chant, iTunes, it'll come up. Okay, so here we go with the chant. Hari Om Nam Lam Mam Vam Sim Ram Vam Yam Yam Ham Shiva Ram Swaha. Hari Om Nam Lam Mam Vam Sim Ram Vam Yam Yam Ham Shiva Ram Swaha. Hari Om Nam Lam Mam Vam Sim Ram Vam Yam Yam Ham Shiva Ram Swaha. And let's just call down a beautiful luminescent column of sparkling white light from the heavens to cleanse us. And now let's extend that white light out in a 360-degree circle. So it goes out to all those who are near us, all in our neighbourhood, our city, our countries, and Mother Earth. Okay. All right. So I want to talk briefly today about rising signs because of the fact that I get so many questions about rising signs. And I just thought, you know what, let's just talk about it every now and then to help people. So if you've read my horoscopes, you'll know that quite often I put a little note up the top saying, read your rising sign if you know it. And people always say, why should I read my rising sign? And just by the way, if you don't know your rising sign, a funny thing happens when people find out their rising sign. They often don't like it. Excuse me, it's really weird, and it's something I've noticed over the years, and I think it's because we all feel or hope that we come across differently to the way we actually do come across, because our rising sign is basically the way we come across in the world. It's like the front door to our chart. Okay, so whatever your rising sign is, that's who you are when you walk into a room, when you walk into a party. You know, if you're a Leo rising, you're going to have, you know, you're going to come in like the king or the queen of the room. And if you're, you know, Cancerian rising, you'll probably come in with a plate of biscuits or something to help people and nurture people. And if you're Capricorn rising, you'll come in like you mean business. And if you're Aries rising, you'll come in really fast. And if you're Gemini rising, you'll come in talking. It's how you come across. So it's not who you really are, it's how you come across. And couple of things to mention. The reason why it's so important, why your rising sign is so important, is because of how we work it out. And the way we work it out is based on your time and date and place of birth, okay? Your time and date and place of birth. And effectively, if someone was born at the exact same moment in time that you were born, but, 100 miles away or in a different country on the other side of the world, they will have the same planets as you, because all the planets are in exactly the same place for you and that person when you're born at that moment in time. Even the moon, which moves fast, if you are born at the same time, you'll have the same moon in exactly the same sign and at the same degree, okay? But your rising sign will be different, because your rising sign is the sign that's coming up over the eastern horizon at the moment that you are born, in the place that you are born. So if you're born in a different place, the further away you get, the more different your rising sign is going to be. And the rising sign basically dictates the chart, because if you've got, say, Gemini rising, then you will have Gemini ruling your first house, Cancer or Moonchild ruling your second house, which is cash, property and possessions. You'll have Leo ruling your third house, which is how you communicate. So that's going to make you quite a different person than if you are, say, Virgo rising. And so Virgo would rule your first house. You would come across as a Virgo. Libra will rule your second house, which is cash, property and possession, so you would spend like a Libran. And then Scorpio would rule your third house, which is your communication zone. So you communicate like a Scorpio. I've actually written a whole book about this, which I haven't sort of had formatted yet. It's one of my projects for the next few months. I found this fantastic editor in Australia, Kim Fairminer. She's an astrologer as well. And I'm going to ask her to help me pull it into shape, because it's not quite ready to be published. But as soon as it is, you'll be able to get all this. So now, the reason why the rising sign is so important then is because it actually dictates how your whole chart unfolds. Like whatever rising sign you are, the opposite sign in the zodiac will rule your love zone, how you are as a lover, your partners, when you're likely to get married, where Venus is for you at any time, where Jupiter is for you at any time. It'll dictate what rules your 10th house, which is your career. So it's a really, really important thing to know. Now, I'll put it in the comments afterwards. I'm sorry, I should have done it after. But, there are plenty of places to find out your rising sign. I offer one, which is moonmessages.com/free chart. moonmessages.com/free chart. And it's really worth knowing your rising sign. And if you read your horoscope based on your rising sign, at least if you read my stars, which I do every day on my site, Yasmin Boland, then you will actually be reading something akin to the reading you would get from an astrologer that day. If you were getting a reading from an astrologer, looking at your personal chart that's based on your time and date and place of birth rather than just your star sign, if you read your rising sign, you're getting something like a personal reading based on your time, date and place of birth, because basically that's how horoscopes work. So if you know your rising sign, especially if you're reading my columns, read your rising sign. And by the way, if you are Cancerian rising, I actually have a workshop coming up this month, just the day after the new moon. It's called Written in the Stars, and it will tell you everything you need to know about your astrology for the year ahead. Now, it's the last one of these I'm doing. I'm changing the format, but I will, if you're Cancerian rising and you know you're Cancerian rising, if you put in the comments, I'm Cancerian rising, I will put a link to you for how to access the workshop in case you would like to access the workshop. The workshop will be great. We'll be making new moon wishes. We'll be looking at the year ahead. all the astrology of the year ahead, the eclipses, the Mercury retrogrades, the Jupiter Plutos, everything that's happening. So it's like getting a personal reading without having to know your whole entire chart. And we'll also take a tour around your chart so you can understand it better. It's the last one I'm doing, Cancer Rising. If you're Cancer Rising, put it in the comments and I will put a link in for you afterwards. Okay, so I hope that explains a little bit why your rising sign is so important and why it's really worth getting to know it, okay? I'll put a link in the description after we finish as well to get a free chart, but you can get free charts anywhere. Find out your rising sign. It'll change your life. All right, so I'm going to do a card reading, and I would like to use my cards today, but I don't seem to have my cards up here right now. So let's just mysteriously grab this deck. Let's see what's in here. I know it's not my cards. Another favourite deck of mine, the Ascended Masters deck. Another one from Doreen Virtue, who made the most amazing decks before her conversion. Her unfortunate departure from our sphere, because I did love Doreen's work. Oh, and one's jumped out. There we go. So this is the message for everybody. Are you ready? Those of you who know this deck will already know what it is because I saw it and I can tell what it is. It's actually one of my favourite Ascended Masters. I feel very strongly connected to Saint Germain. I think part of my fascination with France, you know, I majored in French at university and then I went to live in Paris, you know, from Hobart, Tasmania. It's quite a long way. And I met my husband who's French, you know, and we now have our son Louis who's French, like legally French and, you know, speaks French fluently, better than I do after 12 years of study in school and uni. Saint Germain, the keeper of the violet flame, he's coming up a lot at the moment actually. And the message is work your magic, okay? So basically when this card comes up, it means whatever you're working on now, you can do it. It's a bit like the Magician card we had the other day actually. Let me just find the reading for it. Work your magic. Page 86. I don't know if you can get these cards anymore. They're so beautiful. Here we go. Are you ready? This is a message for all of us today. Okay. Saint Germain. So whatever it is, your most pressing problem, all right? You have the power to resolve the situation you're inquiring about. So that's good. Because there are cards in here that go, you're going to have to, you know, there's a lot more you got to do, or it's, you know, it's really difficult or whatever. This card signifies your untapped magical abilities, which you've used successfully in the past. Pull these abilities out of storage and use them to work your magic now. Your clear and focused intentions, positive expectations, prayers, decrees, and action steps all create the healings and manifestations you desire. Additional meanings for this card. Decide clearly what you will and won't accept in this situation, as your clarity will bring immediate results. Have steady faith in a positive outcome. Study alchemy and manifestation principles. So there you go. And just a little bit about Saint Germain for those who don't know. Saint Germain isn't a Catholic saint, but a count from the French region called Saint-Germain. He was known as the Wonder Man of Europe during his lifetime in the early 1700s. Let me just show you him. Saint-Germain was renowned for his magical abilities to give gems and fountain of youth-like elixirs to his many friends. He was a virtuoso musician and linguist who was beloved by royalty and blue-collar workers alike. Saint Germain helps light workers who wish to work towards world peace and bring about integrity and honesty in governmental and other systems. Well, there you go. There you go. So that's it for today, my friends. I will see you back here, same time tomorrow. And just remember, if you're coming to do the chanting that we do on Zoom before we come here, there's a new password. So you need to go back to my Facebook events page and you'll get it there. To all my lovely Instagram pals, if any of you have said you're Cancer rising, I am going to go and check the comments and I will put a message in there. Lots of love to you. There we go. And to my lovely Facebook people, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will speak to you tomorrow. And again, if any of you are Cancer rising, I will put a link into the workshop. Last one I'm doing. I hope you'll join me. Have a beautiful day and I'll speak to you tomorrow.